back to another episode, I think the 6th episode of the Legion of Clods podcast.
Have you ever been certain about what episode it is?
No, and I probably never will.
Have you ever been certain about anything with numbers?
Still probably no. But I can say for sure that
Maybe we can help you with that.
I can say for sure that I'm probably never going to know what episode we're on ever.
Fair enough.
That's just going to be a thing. Yeah, so today we don't really have any special guests. It's just same old boring people.
I like to think we're all special in our own ways.
Well, that's you, Taylor.
Yes, it is.
And you are special. You're not special, Taylor. There's our guest star. It's Taylor's roommate.
He's just gonna make snappy commentary throughout in the background.
Yeah,
That's what we like to hear.
He'll be there occasionally.
Mm.
Yeah, so we've got Taylor, Scott, and Garrett today.
Hooray.
Hey.
There's so much enthusiasm.
Well, I just laid down in my bed and I was like,
Scam time.
whoa, it feels good right here.
What?
So this is the episode that everyone falls asleep on us. It's gonna be me talking to everyone. That's it. And everyone's gonna be sleeping.
I've been stuck in my room all day.
I've been writing essays and studying for a stupid math exam.
Hooray! So I guess that can lead to what has everybody been playing recently?
I've been playing Keep My Sanity while I study. No, honestly, I haven't really been playing anything new. Just a mix of the old games, Saints Row, Dark Souls, that stuff.
Playing some speedrunners.
Oh yeah, speedrunners.
Oh, I forgot about that.
As did I.
Oh god. It's gonna be another one of those games that I bought and I'm just never gonna play it again.
Yeah, I mean, we told you that was going to happen.
Yeah, well. We've gotta let that not happen.
We've been consistently playing community test chambers in Portal 2.
Yeah, because that became a thing and is
It's
also
so much fun.
except for when you get
What
those
thing?
Oh, just like I mean, like whenever they announced the co-op like test chambers, but like the fan-made ones, I think that's one of the best things that they've decided to do ever.
Oh, yeah.
Because that really adds like a lot more that you could do to the game, and you could do it with a friend, which is great.
Yeah.
And that could either lead to a lot of screaming at each other, which amazingly it doesn't for us, but
We haven't encountered any test chambers like the legendary test chamber, which I don't remember what it was called, but we have henceforth completed every chamber that we set out.
Yes, that chamber.
That chamber. The chamber.
The chamber that we got to the very end and realized we didn't have one button activated.
And it took 4 hours to get to that point, I'm pretty sure. Because we started like 11, and it was early in the morning by the time we finished. And finished, quote unquote.
And by that we mean given up, and also the reason why Scott forever has a but a strong dislike for the
Edgeless safety cubes.
It just makes everything that much more fun.
Indeed. Because the edgeless safety cubes weren't, awful to begin with.
Yeah, that one thing that can just roll off the edge and then screw up your test entirely.
Yeah.
Taylor, what have you been playing?
I've pretty much been in the same boat as Garrett in that I've mostly just been studying for finals and trying not to cry, and failing.
It's a hard life.
Yeah, I've played Hearthstone a bit just because that's what I do when I have obligations I'm trying to avoid.
It's the go-to game.
Like I'm doing right now, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah. No focus in this podcast whatsoever.
I guess I did beat I beat Burial at Sea recently, the first one. I still need to beat the second one. While almost giving my graphics card a panic attack, which was fun.
Oh, speaking of that, I might start BioShock 2 sometime soon. For funsies.
It is quite fun. I don't know. I'm not sure if anyone else has played it other than me. but I quite enjoyed it.
I think
Though
Garrett has, right?
Wait, done what?
Played
I played
Bioshock
part
2.
1, yeah.
No, Bioshock 2, not.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I played Bioshock 2.
Yeah.
It's fun. Not my favorite out of the series. In fact, it's my least favorite out of the series, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that involves that I thought would be interesting to talk about with, I guess, especially Garrett. But I had read an article recently that somebody that said that that BioShock was not a great FPS but was a wonderful game.
I agree. I think the entire Bioshock franchise is a very generic shooter, but the story is good.
I actually feel like it controls really poorly. Like, it sounds weird, but like it's not bad, but it's overwhelming, I guess.
I mean, I think it controls just fine. Well, the first game, not so much. But for the most part, I feel like the game plays well, but the gameplay itself is nothing special and nothing to be praised. It's just another shooter out there. The reason that people should play it is for the story.
I like the plasmid and salt system, or not salts,
vigors.
vigors. You replenish them with salts.
Yeah.
I mean, I like those. Like, if those weren't in the game, I would say that like its gameplay was like very, very generic. But I think that adds enough of an element of differentiation to be like, oh, yeah, it's pretty fun. The one thing that I found really annoying in Bioshock Infinite, one of the only things I found really annoying that they fixed in the DLC, or fixed, I don't know if it was a problem or if this was like, if it was a like melee to brawl quote unquote fix, but how like in Bioshock 1 you carried like every weapon with you at all times, whereas in Bioshock Infinite you could only carry two, and you just had to keep replacing them with ones that you found lying on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know?
like that.
And yeah, I mean, I found it annoying. I don't know if it was like an upgrade to some people and a downgrade to other, or
It was definitely I wouldn't really say it was any sort of like upgrade or downgrade. It just it added more to the challenge, I feel. Like it created a new thought that you had to have.
I was
to it.
thinking
yeah.
in part it wanted to make you rely more on your vigors because like you always had all of them, and they could be more of your main source of combat with firearms to like help you along.
Yeah, that
I
was
guess
kind of
that's a
the
good point.
biggest issue I had with the whole only two weapons thing, was the fact that there was also an upgrade system that was like consistent to your character and not to the weapons you picked up. And so if you put like points into like a particular weapon and then you just pick up a different weapon and then never acquire that one again, then what do?
I mean, I guess they're abundant enough. Like, if you're like, man, I wish that I hadn't dropped that sniper rifle back there, there's like a good chance you'll find another one within like 5 minutes of looking for it.
Although, you know, as in most games, the shotgun is the best weapon, I feel.
Oh yeah, I remember in Bioshock 1, I upgraded my shotgun all the way and just plowed through the game with
The
it.
shotgun has always been pretty much the top weapon in Bioshock.
It's always
Yeah.
and for a lot of games I feel like it's still a pretty top weapon because of how more or less powerful most games make it. Is for the most part it's a one-shot kill, and you don't really have to worry too much about like any sort of repercussions. Like with other ones, like any sort of submachine gun or anything, you have to like fire a couple rounds into things before it dies. With the shotgun, you just like walk up to them, shoot them in the face, and like 6 people just died. So it's
Fucking Bronco plus shotgun is just the best.
yeah, I could agree with that.
I also feel like in Bioshock Infinite, while the whole plasmid vigor thing was kind of like made into a particular aspect of the series, and so they couldn't really remove it, I felt like they could have expanded upon vigors a bit more in Infinite. I don't know if they did it in the DLC. I haven't played that, but like they're just kind
story-wise?
they're just kind of there, and I assume it was through the.
Did you collect all the audio logs?
It's one of those background story things.
Because if you collect all the audio logs, they go into detail about them.
I also
see-
want to try and keep this as spoiler free as possible.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah. And see, that seems like kind of the thing where it's a major aspect of the gameplay, and it probably shouldn't be delegated to optional audio logs.
Yeah,
Yes, but then again, it's like I
Bioshock
feel like
1.
that's kind
That's
of
once
yeah.
again been the style of Bioshock since they started the franchise. Is you'll get the main story by playing through the game, if you actually want to know about the universe, you're going to have to go out of your way and look for it.
They do, and I'm keeping it spoiler free, but there are one or two vigors in the second part of the Burial at Sea that weren't in the main game or the first part of Burial at Sea. And so that was kind of cool because the second part's a much different play style than the rest of the game, and so they added new vigors to support that play style.
It's also strange because I think if you have like the original BioShock and BioShock Infinite on your computer at the same time, they give you optional other like the plasmids from the old game as vigors in Infinite, and I was like,
Do they?
I think so. I may be wrong.
Well, I mean, there were some vigors that were like basically the same as plasmids. Like Devil's Kiss was like Incinerate, and then Shock Jockey was like the electric one. But other than that, like, is that what you're talking about? Or are you saying?
No, I think like I think they were optional. Like you could buy them in the store, but I don't remember. I may be wrong completely. I just feel like that was a thing.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I mean, like in the DLC, since the DLC it takes place in Rapture, they're all like all of the vigors are now renamed to plasmids.
I don't remember. It was
stuff.
just
it's like things that were clearly vigor, like Possession. It's the Possession plasmid in the DLC instead of the vigor. But
you still jam them into your arm.
I don't know. I mean, you just recently played it. I can't remember.
I don't feel like you jammed them in. No, because they were taken in vigor form this time instead of plasmid, where you jam them into your arm. Which is always my favorite thing in games when people are just like, "Oh, look, a random syringe that I have no idea where it went. Let me just jam this into my veins real quick." It's like, oh,
it's not even a small syringe. It's like a drinking straw-sized needle.
It's basically like a bone needle.
Yeah.
Which is even more horrifying to think about.
It's not fun times. It's not something you would like just without hesitation use.
I guess the other thing was like the thing I was thinking was like Borderlands. It was like the health vials just drop on the ground and you're just like, oh hey, this was dropped by a crazed psychopathic man. Let me just jam this into me real quick.
But it's got a little cross on it, so it must be healthy.
Of all the things in Borderlands, I don't think health and cleanliness is their top priority.
Yeah, well.
Or would ever be.
Yeah,
on Pandora, at least.
I also think that I would just imagine that if you now have a magical shot that can basically give you your health back, quote unquote, then it could probably just cure you of any disease that needle might give you.
Also, worst case scenario in Borderlands, you catch a horrible contagious disease, shoot yourself in the head, and respawn good as new.
This is also true.
What I always wondered,
suicide, rah.
More back to BioShock. I always wondered, like, those little like commercial things every time you get a new plasmid or a vigor, like if it's implied that this was originally going to be like just sold to normal people, like I get that like Rapture and Columbia were kind of not exactly under a government, but it's just kind of like funny for like products to be like, Devil's Kiss, burn your enemies alive, it's great for kids, 1995, in like the commercials. It's like, I don't know, that seems like a very strange,
well, I mean, if you remember though,
advertisement.
One of the biggest parts of it was like you had the the false shepherd, and like Comstock had built his town was built on the fear of the false shepherd. So I guess if you think about
like defenses.
So I guess they were thinking of it like they were like, you could give it to your kids and your kids can defend themselves against the false shepherd kind of thing.
This won't go horribly wrong if we give kids the ability to shoot fireballs.
No, yeah, pretty much. It's like normalizing the concept of a like civilian militia where it's like, oh, it's cool for children too. And if it's just made a normal part, then they won't hesitate to fight back against a threat.
To be fair, they also have commercials for cigarettes directed specifically at children.
I do remember that one.
Yeah.
Because they were like, hey, Timmy's the cool kid because he's got this brand of cigarettes. Go buy this brand of cigarettes. Be cool
also,
like the rest of them.
Are you talking about BioShock or in real life?
Oh, this is BioShock. Infinite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It was one of the like Viewatron things.
Oh, okay. I only paid attention to like 2 or 3 of those.
Whatever the hell they were called.
Viewatrons.
I don't know what they were called. I can't remember these things.
Like the voxophones.
The voxophones were awesome though. Like
It was the coolest thing. It's like a record player, portable record player thing.
the concept of it was awesome.
I loved that.
Yeah, and I think also with it being the way it took place too was, you know, it was kind of around the time that I feel like more stuff like that kind of propaganda was more common at that point.
Yeah, just in previous eras of history, there weren't as many public safety laws, and so advertising potentially dangerous things to children or young adults or parents wasn't as big of a deal.
Previous history, aka the 1940s.
Yep.
The good old days.
AKA the early 2000s.
aka yesterday.
If you think about it though, like, I mean, even
AKA
a decade's still a long time ago. Like,
Yes.
things have advanced so greatly since those times. So I mean, when you're like, oh yeah, that was like what 1940. That's not that long ago. But then you think about how the history was in that point, and you're just like, oh, that was a while ago. That was something different.
That was quite a while ago.
We were in a different world at that point.
We were.
So I guess moving on from all of this talk of,
Yeah, I don't know how we got on BioShock.
I mentioned though I played it, and
Yeah.
it always brings up the. That's one of those games that I feel like will be talked about for a long time. Because I mean, it's worth it. It's a really good game, and when people say they haven't played it, I'm like, you should go play it now. It's totally worth it.
Yeah.
See, some people at my dad's work found out that I had got my haircut kind of out of like kind of based off of Booker's hair, and they had a great like moment of "this is the greatest game ever" discussion. So
Did you go to the barber shop and just take the like
I
box
did.
art of the game?
I
and go,
actually
like,
showed the box art of the game, and I was like, I want this. And
Do you guys have an ascot by any chance?
Oh, I actually went as Booker for Halloween. No one
Nice.
recognized it.
that is my plan of. If I end up going to that convention with Scott and Ray, I will do Booker. Moving on to the news I have.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so it's recently been announced the co-director of the new Kingdom Hearts game has said that both Marvel and Star Wars are quote-unquote not off limits. Which-
Because they're now owned by Disney and Kingdom Hearts and Disney and stuff.
Which means that we could possibly have Sora with a Keyblade lightsaber.
Which would make me wet myself every time I looked at it.
I have given Scott and Lachlan so much shit about, you know, them liking Kingdom Hearts as much as they do, and I liked it when I was younger. I just haven't been able to get back into it because there's way too much story for me to even handle.
What a pleb.
Well, okay, when you go from a game that starts out, it's like, oh, look, it's a cute, innocent little game about this kind of thing. Then suddenly it's like, oh, by the way, this is a thing that spanned over billions of years, and there's Heartless and Nobody, and then everybody's got a Heartless and a Nobody, and then everyone has an everything.
And the unversed.
And then you
And then
just
it's
get to a point where you're like, okay, look, I get it. I like the fact that you want to have this kind of lore, but this needs to stop somewhere, and it's not, and I'm not
Just
okay
like-
with it.
There's like 4 different Ansems, and there's like who's Xehanort, and
It gets to a point of I can't handle it. But if for any reason that Thor or Iron Man just like decide to fly into the world, I'm like, I can play all of these games now. I will get totally into your lore, and I will play these games just because I want to see Sora, Donald, and Goofy fighting next to Thor and Iron Man and the Hulk.
Now the
And-
question is like the Star Wars thing is one thing. Like I could easily see them doing a world, you know, like I don't know, like Mos Eisley space. Well, if they did anything, it would probably be from like the new movie. I'm assuming. So wherever the new movie's going to happen, but with the Marvel thing, would they do like an Avengers set world, or would they like choose one? Like, would they have a Spider-Man world and an Iron Man world, or like
Well, they couldn't
just
do
an Iron-
Spider-Man.
or not
They
Spider-Man?
couldn't do
I meant.
Spider-Man. Yeah, it's still owned by Sony. So
Right. Which is still
No,
weird.
I mean they're no. Marvel owns it. It's the movie thing that they can't do. I think they can still do a video game with like Spider-Man. I don't know how copyright works.
I
But,
mean, they probably
like-
they probably wouldn't risk it just because like the movie tie-in is associated with Sony Pictures.
And
So-
but the thing is, like, technically Tony Stark and Spider-Man live in New York, so you could literally just go to New York and it'd be
So
like,
you'd have a New York world.
Well,
That'd be
see,
great.
then there's also the thing that 90% of movies take place in New York. So
yeah. So I mean,
by that logic,
they could do a lot with that, and honestly, them putting Star Wars and Marvel in it would boost sales of that game
Oh, it would boost
To
sales so.
tremendously, stupidly high amounts because
Like, the game is going to sell well anyway. The only thing that's hurting it is it's going to be on the PlayStation 4. But, yeah, put those in there.
exclusives.
I know. Well, I mean, as far as we know.
We don't even
But-
know when it's going to come out, so
But, I mean, soonish, like, within the foreseeable future, because, they're getting their stuff together. They just released the 2.5 HD remix the other day. Super excited to play that.
it does look cool, and I also would love to just like it's the moment you reach the Star Wars world, if you just hear that da 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 da, and that's all you ever get to listen
Oh,
to.
the cantina thing or
Yeah,
whatever.
all you ever get to listen to on that world is the Cantina theme.
Oh, could you imagine them doing like the battle music for that?
When you enter the world, you literally get a like scrolling screen of text. It's just like you fly to the world, and all of a sudden, in a galaxy not too far up, I'm gonna not say this because I don't know it well enough to.
Mhm.
But yeah, they just get that like yellow scrolling text.
but yeah, my main concern is how are they going to incorporate like the worlds of Star Wars and Marvel into the game itself? Because if they add in like actual plot elements, I feel like Kingdom Hearts plot will enter a level of complexity not unlike that of a fractal, and like it doesn't really need that. But on the other hand, if they just throw in Star Wars and Marvel stuff, it'll just be like the Pirates of the Caribbean section, where it's just
Or
there,
the grid in Dream Drop Distance, where
or like the space paranoids or whatever from Tron.
right, and
Or
then
it doesn't actually contribute anything to the story. It's just a hey, here's this property that we own, and it's in the game now.
I feel like that would be more of a thing that they would do. Is probably they're like, guys, look at Marvel World. It has nothing to do with the story, but look, Iron Man and Hulk and Thor and other characters that you know really well by name.
Yeah, the thing is that the way that they do it most of the time now is like the Kingdom Hearts 2 did a pretty good job with integrating things in the story. Even like the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff, they had like it was like Organization 13 members were behind a lot of the stuff that was happening in like the Isla de Muerta and stuff, and so like there was like
At
a
some
big
point, I'm
tie-in.
gonna shut you down because it starts getting too complicated. We're just moving on.
Well, no. I'm just saying that, Pirates of the Caribbean 1 movie was like the whole curse of the gold and stuff, and it was like they made a Heartless that was affected by the curse of the gold, and so it was like unbeatable, and you had to do stuff to get. So they did a pretty good job with tying it in to the story at least. So probably like where it gets kind of and where they don't tie it in too well, they kind of just like make it so that like Sora or somebody like the people in the world teach them some sort of semi-valuable lesson that they'll just kind of like remember.
Use the Force, Sora.
Like one of the flashbacks that happens a lot in the games is from the first game in Atlantica, where King Triton was like when he figured out that Sora and them were from another world, and like he was basically just like, oh, you can't mess with the affairs of everyone else, you need to know your place. They like reference back to that all the time when Sora's like trying to make a decision and stuff. So it'd probably be similar to that, to where like
To where,
it'd be like use the force, look within yourself, don't trust what you see, kind of thing. Maybe it'll be just like, oh, we should analyze our situations better in the future.
I just don't want to see not Robert Downey Jr. and not Harrison Ford in a Kingdom Hearts game.
well,
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, this is
It's like
this is
not
just,
Johnny Depp.
This is also just me being a Marvel fan, and this is the only thing that I can see. Like, Star Wars and the other one, they didn't really have the exception because their characters are like actual people. Like, you have the actual people who played all of them, Han Solo and all that. And the thing is with the Avengers, since there are enough comic books, it can be done. I feel like that's the one that's going to get the exception because it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be Robert Downey Jr. It doesn't.
Wait,
Wait,
I'm confused. What point
oh, I'm saying like because the renditions of Marvel characters, they don't have to be the movie rendition. They could be the comic rendition, or they could be one of the cartoon renditions.
Right.
Like,
but
it could be
if,
anything.
Like,
but
if like non-Harrison Ford,
the Star
not
Wars one have Harrison Ford is Han Solo.
Yeah.
That is a set thing, and it's like Johnny Depp is
Jack Sparrow.
Like, those are set things. Their faces are connected to that character permanently.
Which I may be wrong, but in Kingdom Hearts 2 wasn't the Jack Sparrow not played by Johnny Depp?
Almost certainly.
I doubt he would be, because that's
what I thought.
That would be a lot that company would have to dish out to get that voice.
Yeah, because I remember that. Same thing with pretty much the rest of them. I feel like maybe, but yeah, the other thing that's always interesting is, since it's Disney stuff, you usually don't notice it until you get something like Pirates of the Caribbean or the, like, 2013, 12, whenever it came out, Tron movie, when, like, you start integrating real people in, and then you just see how vastly they contrast with Sora. And it's just like...
and I feel, again, that they can actually do something with the Marvel one. They could actually, since, again, comic book, you have artistic liberties that you can take with it.
As opposed to this random anime boy appearing in the middle of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Or random anime boy appearing in the middle of Star Wars. I guess they could use the Clone Wars, but...
Star Wars. Yeah, I would be really overjoyed if they used, like a really famous part of one of the original movies and stuff, but like it's more than likely they're going to go with the new movie, I'm assuming. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It depends on whether their like production thing collides.
And they may use Clone Wars. They may use some of the extended history, because as it turns out, Star Wars has way more than I would ever be able to handle.
By Clone Wars, you're talking about the TV show?
Yeah, the animated TV show, which it's still canon to the universe.
I totally forgot that existed.
It's still canon to the universe, and it even has like I know that I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about there's like a board game for the thing, and it's with the ships from the game. And there are so many more ships than you ever realized were ever in that show, in those movies. Like, they had the movie ones. Then there's an extended universe group of them.
There's like 1,000 different types of TIE fighters alone.
It's madness. Like, I would not be able to keep up with any of it.
Faraz used to talk about it a lot.
Oh God, Faraz. And the force sensitive droid or whatever that he always talked about.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Skippy the force sensitive droid.
Well, that reminds me of the new
I have to look this up now.
That new trailer's come out, and I am excited about it.
I don't know why everyone's complaining about the lightsaber design.
I love the lightsaber design.
Makes perfect sense.
It does seem extremely dangerous. But then you go back and look at Darth Maul, and lightsabers don't have to be safe.
Darth Maul had not the dumbest one, but if you look at that, I'm like, how did you?
He had the coolest one.
He had a cool one, but it's like, how did you use that and not like end up decapitating yourself at some point?
Well, yeah, that's kind of
any fighting stick.
Though.
Yeah, that's kind of what it implies, though, is either Darth Maul is a complete noob who just picked up this lightsaber and started using it, or he's a complete badass who knows how to do it because he's been using it forever and hasn't cut his own legs off.
The main complaint that people are having with the new lightsaber, which is just in its like what they're saying is like the idea is it's supposed to be like the a handguard thing.
I'll find the Stephen
And,
Colbert thing about this.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, the
Colbert's
thing they're
makes
saying is that from that trailer, the light part of the blade is not flush with where the lightsaber would cut if it slid along it, so it would just cut right through the metal and chop your hand off anyway. That's what people are complaining about
Yeah,
mostly.
and I will find that Colbert thing because he mentioned something. He's like, now see, the thing is, I was a fan before you guys were, because he apparently got tickets to see the show like 2 weeks before it released. But
Like
he
the original Star Wars?
the
or,
original
like,
Star Wars, like
Yeah.
original. But he has a little picture and he explains how he thinks it works, and it's great.
Oh, is it the,
He was saying something like how it's the same beam, but it moves slower because of the crystals and stuff.
It's like separated, like it's the same beam. And he's like, yeah, but you would say that this is a thing that's not possible to happen, but it totally is because blah blah blah.
Like people were saying that the beam wouldn't serve any purpose because the projector or emitter or whatever would get cut off, but the beam would be coming from within that. So it'd cut through part of it and then stop against the interior laser.
yeah, that's a really good point,
Like it's hollow.
actually. But
And then someone else mentioned that the material that lightsabers are made of is supposed to be like immune to. So one,
Hang on. Recording is stopped. Continue.
is so we good?
I think I can't click out of the Skype window or like it loses its mind, but I'm recording apparently.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay then. So Garrett,
If we lost anything, we lost like literally maybe 4 seconds. So
we're not even talking about games. We're talking about Star Wars.
I mean,
It's-
it's
so-
fine.
Yeah. So anyways, like the cross guard on that guy's lightsaber. One, the beam would be coming from within the cross guard, so you wouldn't have to worry about it getting cut off. And two, supposedly the material that lightsabers are made of are immune to lightsabers themselves. So the cross guard would still serve its purpose even without the light rays, which would make them kind of pointless. But also, there's a problem with that in that Darth Maul's lightsaber got cut clean in half by
Yeah.
Walker. So like, how canon is everything within the universe?
I also think that everyone's looking too far into this and getting
Yeah.
upset about something that's still way off in the future.
I mean,
You
that's
know, galaxy
like the
far, far
fundamental of
away.
everything. Well, technically, Star Wars happens in the past.
Did I ask you?
I did.
That's okay. There's like many other episodes here that I have like lost nerd points, and I'm probably going to get crucified if certain people ever.
Crucified on a
on a
cross-guard
cross
lightsaber.
lightsaber.
It's rather extreme.
So extreme.
But yeah, so wrapping up the Kingdom Hearts discussion.
That's where we were.
Most important thing about it is the fact that there's possibility for a lightsaber keyblade, which is going to be awesome.
Yes.
And also the dumbest thing.
Because I would not use any other keychain beyond that one ever again.
I wouldn't be able to. It'd be like, yeah, you got this other really cool one. It's like this and that, and I'd be sitting there going, I have a lightsaber keyblade. Why would I use anything else?
Yeah,
Unless of course you like went to the Marvel universe and they like gave you a Nordic one, like something that was made by anything from Norse mythology, and I'd be like, that is my choice weapon now. I am the only one worthy of wielding it. All of you others can go do something else. I've got this. That's fine. Everything's great.
But yeah, it just makes me more and more excited for the game and more sad that as of now it's only on the PS4.
Although we did say that a possibility of it being on PC, maybe because of
We did, and I will keep making shrine visits to make sure that it happens.
I have sacrificed many a goat to the gods.
Many a goat. I sliced them all open with my car keys.
That's to show dedication. I have a knife. I just
No,
I
it's
use
just,
my keys for the symbolism.
Indeed. I'll actually have a Keyblade necklace. I should start using that. Just slice open the goats.
Is it really a blade? It seems more like a blunt instrument to me.
It's whatever.
Use
Some
your-
of the Keyblades are blades.
some of the keyblades are blades.
Yeah, it's just like the default keyblade is
Use
like
your
a
imagination,
blunt-
Taylor. You're not too old to use it.
I don't need to use my imagination. It's in the video game.
It's true. See,
It's blunt.
the thing,
It's like a club.
It's actually written somewhere in the lore that the Keyblades are actually just chainsaws. It's just that everyone's visual perception of them is altered by their magic.
Oh,
and,
either that or they're moving so fast they don't look like they're moving at all.
Their magic actually also silences them too, because if it weren't for their magic, you'd basically be running around Kingdom Hearts just hearing vroom all the time.
So wait, they're essentially chainsaw key swords.
Well, essentially, the way they work is they just vibrate so fast that it just cuts through everything. And it's kind of like how if you... they did this in... I think this happened in... what's it called? A certain magical index where there was a girl who like used magnetism to make a sword out of... metallic shavings that just vibrated really fast and cut through everything.
So basically what you're saying is it's vibranium.
Yes.
Oh my god, they could have a vibranium keyblade. Or an adamantium keyblade.
Best keyblade.
I
Yeah.
I can't.
Either that or what you're saying is Kingdom Hearts takes place in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, in which case I'm very happy with this.
As it
Kingdom Hearts takes
turns
place in
out.
every universe.
Chainsaw swords.
So moving on to the next topic.
Next
Before I
topic.
start talking about Warhammer 40k again.
So Steam has a live stream now, and it's actually great.
Yeah, we tried it.
Scott and I both decided, we were like, hey, let's see how this works. So we like booted it up and stuff, and it's actually really good. You don't lose frame rate in it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like
What is this magic?
the person,
It's like a 15-second delay, but everything looks great. We tried it. I tried it with like just a very low level 360p, like RPG Maker type game, and then Logan did it with Alice Madness Returns,
which is pretty high graphic detail and stuff, and it uses the PhysX engine too. So it ran it nearly flawlessly. So like, and I think it's a great thing for people who stream. I mean, like, it's not that Twitch is that bad of a thing, and granted, you can't only do this with Steam. So although it records your computer's audio, which just weirded me out because I was on Scott's stream and I was talking, and all of a sudden I heard myself like 6 seconds later. I was like, "Whoa, okay." So, I mean, if we ever like wanted to for any reason, because I know we played Left 4 Dead some, if we ever wanted to like live stream Left 4 Dead, we could always do that, which is pretty cool.
Yes, for our millions of fans.
Yes.
I mean, we've already done that once. It's a very famous, popular, and gut-wrenchingly hilarious video.
Mm-hmm.
It really is funny though.
It's
It
on my
is.
channel. It's on Scott's channel.
It is. It's on both. That was
Click the name down at the bottom left. You'll just
Shameless
find it.
plugs.
Yeah.
Yay!
shameless butt plugs.
There'll be a box. There'll be a box nowhere on the screen that leads to a link of it.
Indeed, that was back in the day when we could have fun playing video games.
We still can.
No,
I
we
mean,
can't.
I think we had fun.
Shut up.
Okay.
Have fun playing League of Legends, right?
No, we don't.
I do.
No one has
No,
fun playing League.
You're not allowed, Taylor.
And
We all signed a contract at the beginning of this thing, and fun was explicitly.
It
denied.
literally was like a piece of paper with fun and one of those like red crosses on it that just said no.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very binding, very official, very effective.
It has our names like scribbled on it, barely like legible little names on the side.
It's done in crayon.
Yes.
But my God, they were French crayons. They're very.
They were like scented French crayons.
crayons. Crayon.
The
English is fun.
The blue one smelled like blubberies.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about the live stream.
Oh, yeah,
Steam stream.
It is very good, and it's pretty cool because it's also like, I guess you could like, well, not that we tried it or anything, but it runs in like the same type of thing as just a normal Steam messaging window. So
Oh, and it's great because like
shift tab it away and stuff, and
when you're in game, like your chat that people can talk in, it shows up in the top left corner. I know like with Twitch and stuff, I think you have to like set up the chat so that you can see it at some other point. And like some things like Minecraft have it integrated into it, where like the chat will show up in your chat, but I think it's really cool, and like I guess like a lot of like Let's Players and live streamers can do it through Steam now if they don't want to go through Twitch. But I know a lot of live streamers already have stuff through Twitch, so it's not like that matters too much. But it's a great way to like help. Like I know that on I'm putting a link to this in the thing, but I know like on their website they talked about it's like your friend having trouble in a game that you know a lot about. Here's where to go. Or you can just like now you can watch them and give them. You can
Pro
give them
tips.
You can give them pro tips on. They say in live time, but really you're like it's like a 6-second delay. So I mean, granted, that's still magical that you're seeing it 6 seconds, but
I mean, any sort of streaming service has a delay, like
Yeah.
Twitch does, and any sort of streaming service has to have that. So
it makes perfect.
Like the news on TV has it. It's always like and I'm surprised that no one's really found a way to improve that, especially for the news, to avoid those awkward moments where somebody will like be talking and it's like, and what are your thoughts on that, Dave?
Well, to be fair, TV also keeps that delay intentionally so they can censor things if need be.
That's also
Yes.
and
well, I
a
guess
lot
it's
of, a lot of
for-
gaming streams also keep it just so people can't cheat. Like what's it?
Oh, like League with the spectating thing.
Yeah, there's a certain term for that. I forget what it's called, but it's like using streams of competing teams to cheat. And so they keep the delay in just so you can't do that as easily.
Right.
And this also like makes it a lot easier for I guess the average Joe to be able to stream something if they'd like.
Mhm.
Like that, because I know like I've looked at Twitch, seeing how Twitch works for like a live stream and stuff, and I would not want to try and figure. I mean, it could be pretty simple, but there's some programs you have to download, and you have to choose between programs and stuff. So this makes a game live stream much easier. So, hooray!
Hooray for that.
Hooray for conveniences of life and technology. Next thing I have on my list is that Telltale released 2 new games recently. One being the Tales from the Borderlands, I believe is what it's called, something like that, and the new Game of Thrones one. Which I've
Is the Borderlands thing released now?
I
Yes.
really want the Game of Thrones one.
Oh, yay.
I really want the Borderlands one, and I know like I think I've heard people say like, oh well, it's why would you want it? Because it's not like the rest of Borderlands game, but I like Borderlands lore. Sounds weird to say it like that, but I really do like the Borderlands, like the world they've created. All the different people and stuff and things that are happening in the worlds are great and wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, and that is a very strong point of the Borderlands series, is just the writing behind it, just because it's so funny and so clever and whatnot, and this is a way for people to enjoy that lore without having to go through Borderlands gameplay, which I know you guys all love it, but for a lot of people seem to think it's like uninspired or boring, kind of in the same way that like Diablo is boring for some people.
It is loot collecting the game, more or less. Like,
Yeah,
that is
pretty much.
not the entire point, but that is
That's the entire point.
it's a huge point in the game. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I like it. I'm not always all about the stuff, like all about the loot and stuff, but yeah, the first game's dialogue was not that strong, honestly. But the second game and the pre-sequel has been brilliant writing, and I know Anthony Birch does the writing for it, or a good majority of the writing, and I love the stuff that he's done with it. And I think this game's also been done by him, and I feel like the artwork's also still true to the Borderlands. I've also heard that the Game of Thrones game is really good. Like,
I haven't really
Who
heard
do you
much
play
about it.
as in that one?
I don't
You
know.
play as the Forrester family, which I'm not sure if that's actually in the books or the show,
I
but
think
I
they
don't
said
think it
it's
is.
I've not heard of them, so.
No, they're basically the not Starks.
Because if you play as pretty much any of the main characters in the show, your time is limited.
Yeah.
And so is your
Yeah.
viewpoint.
Yeah, and from what I actually heard, I think I also read an article. Is like, I know that it's not like Telltale games are bad. It's just I feel like they're not very replayable. I guess.
Which, I mean, some of them, or I get to all of them, have like the multiple decisions and stuff like that, where what you do affects the future.
Yeah.
Because The Walking Dead did. Because that will give you some level of replayability, but once you do it like 2 or 3 times, that's about
But
it.
from what I read, someone was like, the Game of Thrones one, they're like, I would 100% play this over and over again. Like, it was apparently really good. So,
I will have to check it out. I have not finished. The last Telltale game I played was Wolf Among Us, which I still haven't finished.
I'm
So
really bad about finishing games, so...
yeah, especially when they're episodic, because it's like I have to go download all that.
Yeah,
And I don't want
episodic
to.
will also kill... Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you're really into it, you can just continually get little bits and pieces of the game. But
Or, you know, just
if you're
like,
if
eventually
you're like me and I get bored easily, then
season pass it and then go back to it later, I guess.
Mhm.
Just wait for everything to come out and then go, okay, I got this now.
yeah. But yeah, I've looked it up, and apparently House Forrester is featured in the books. It seems like they've been featured in A Dance with Dragons, just as a very, very minor role.
Okay.
So,
I've only read the first book and part of the second. I really need to go back and like start the second over again and continue through them.
But
So-
they, yeah, so I am interested in the Borderlands one. I'm also interested in the Game of Thrones one, but I'm not nearly as interested in that one as I am the other one. So, other thing had on the list is that champion from League of Legends who was announced, like 2 years ago. Ao Shin, I believe is how you say his name.
I have no idea. It's A.O. Shin.
And apparently, according to Riot, they are currently on hold with that.
What did they have? What have they been for the last 2 years then?
On hold, not officially.
Maybe working on him in the background or something.
Yeah, I was wondering about him because I remember, and I totally forgot like what he was called or what even he looked like. But I just remembered I was like, wasn't there like some sort of dragon-ish thing that was happening?
Yep.
I mean, you know, and it's like
Turned out he
champions
wasn't
keep coming out.
They have no idea. I don't remember really. Them might have been in the article I read, but he is on hold apparently, and will be a while until he comes out, I guess.
Yep.
Did we talk about Callista in any of the past things?
I don't remember.
Oh God, Callista.
Callista is an odd bird. Have you guys played League at all recently?
Yes,
Yes.
Scott bought Callista, and I was his support, and I got thrown into things that I didn't understand. He was like, all right, Logan, are you ready? I'm like, I guess so. And then we just went into it. My
Oh.
screen went green, and I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, the guy being thrown has complete control over it, but
Yeah.
still, it is very confusing.
It's
She
also
does a lot of stuff, like, or not stuff, but like, I didn't think, because we got like when I started playing her, I was like, oh boy, time to figure out how she works, and we got put up against the most aggressive Graves and Sona that I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, that's how
Yeah.
so-
Graves has to play.
Yeah,
You
And I
gotta
was
be as
just
aggressive
like-
as Graves.
I didn't think we were doing so hot, but then you know I was like 3 basic attacking the Sona to death, and I was like, well, this is working.
But then also the thing is with Callista, she dodges. And let me just tell you that whenever that ult goes off and you're the support, the screen like basically flashes with her moving. So you're already trying to figure out what the hell's going on in the game. Your entire screen is green. You suddenly have this arrow and your screen's jumping everywhere. I had no idea what was going on the first time that it was activated. And honestly, if you're not warned, it's an incredibly jarring thing. You're just suddenly it's like, all right, your time to make a decision. You're just like, wait, what? Huh? It is.
Yeah. I feel like what Scott was saying about her having a lot of stuff, like that's kind of been an issue with champions designed by what's his name? Certainly T, I think his name is. He's the guy who designed Callista, and he's also the guy who designed Darius, Zed, Thresh, Zyra, Yasuo, who were all champions who were kind of, not very well received for being overpowered or overcomplicated, or just being overloaded in terms of things that they can do. And it seems like she's a bit of a continuation of that trend, though she doesn't seem to be as bad as like Darius was.
She's powerful though. Like, I know that we played against one that like just wrecked us. Like, it was late game, so everyone got kind of powerful, but like she would just dive in, hit you with 2 spears, you'd be done, and then she'd run away, and you're like, oh,
The Spurs.
what happened?
Yeah, I still need to play more against her to figure out if she's too powerful or not.
I think if you shut her down early, it's better. But like if you let her get fed, you're not gonna have a good day.
I mean, that's kind of the way all AD carries roll, though.
Yeah.
Like
Really,
Vayne
any champion, as
is
long as you
just
shut him,
bad.
as long as you shut them down early, they usually don't do good unless they're Master Yi, in which case they'll just be fine.
Master Yi is always fine.
You don't jungle as Yi, it's just Master Yi in the jungle.
Yeah, he's just in the jungle. He's not even doing anything. He's just at peace. He gets experience. He just has all the experience and just doles it out to himself when he needs it.
he meditates occasionally, gets that health back. He just doesn't care.
Meditate is nonsense, and I still hate it.
I just glad I want to try Yi again next time I play jungle.
But Taylor, they buffed him, or not buffed him. They
They nerfed him 5 times.
They fixed him.
They've nerfed him so many times, as they have nerfed so many champions that are still absolute bullshit.
Yeah, that happens.
That is always my favorite thing. It's like he got nerfed. I'm like, you're lying to me.
Which yeah, I think we did discuss this last time about the big changes to Summoner's Rift and everything.
They're cool.
But
Actually,
yeah, the way they're doing that is so that they don't have to constantly nerf or buff champions. They can just change the map a bit and encourage or discourage particular strategies, which I really like the idea behind, just because no one likes getting nerfed.
I'm still sad that Darius got nerfed. He needed it, but
Darius deserved it.
What, you don't think it's great that I could go in, ult like five people, steal
And
everyone
still
else's,
have the ult.
and still kill just kill everyone, still have the ult, walk away like, nothing happened. Steal all the kills as Darius.
Those were dark times.
I was me in League for like a year.
Yeah. You cancer.
I love my extremes. If it's like I either play support, which is, usually a more passive class, or I play tank, which is just the most non-passive class. There is no in-between with me.
Oh. Yeah. So, aside from Callista and
Aoshin. I'm saying Aoshin.
It's 2 letters and I can't
Ao.
pronounce it. Aoshin.
It's
Aside
also,
from-
To be fair, they're both vowels.
and it's also
so-
Chinese, so it's not like it's
It's
very
not pronounced how you spell it,
and it's also like we're Germanic and Romantic. Is that our group of languages?
yes.
Hey,
I'm pretty
Garrett.
sure there's-
Okay, I can't tell if you're getting really staticky or not, but
No, it's you.
I'm right.
is it me?
I think because you just got horribly staticky when you said that.
Well,
Okay, well, there's just a lot of static, that's gonna be fun.
Is it still happening?
just
Yeah.
a little bit, not as bad
It
as
just died down when you spoke, so.
Yeah, it might have
There
been my mic.
Oh, it's gone now.
Okay, well that fixed it. Just
Hooray.
edit that out in post, Barry.
I am my own Barry.
Yep. So aside from that, there's also another champion that's about to be released that I'm excited about.
I
Oh,
have.
really? New jungler.
Yeah, Rek'Sai the Void Burrower.
What
Oh,
in
right. I forgot
God's
about her.
name?
Wait. Yeah,
Huh?
think so.
I have not heard about this. What is...
Get
She's on the
wrecked.
main page in the client.
Yeah. She's a land shark, basically.
Oh my god, yes. I would like all of this, please.
She can burrow, leave tunnels around the map. When enemy champions step on it, it closes them. But if they're there, her ultimate allows her to burrow underground from anywhere on the map to that tunnel in about a second or two. And, just come out there and assist whoever's nearby. Or,
Yeah.
kill whoever's nearby.
And those tunnels also leave persistent like holes that she can use to travel around really quickly and through walls and stuff.
Yeah.
This sounds magical, and I want this.
It looks magical. Yeah, and she has alternations between burrowed and unburrowed states, and also I'm just excited because it's a female champion that's a monster, not like
We're still
Shyvana.
gonna find a way to give it giant boobs.
I hope not.
No. It's like Nami. They're just air bladders.
Shh. We don't. I don't get that.
They're air bladders.
Whatever.
Don't
But yeah,
question it.
it's a female champion that's actually like monstrous and not like Shyvana, who's a woman who turns into a monster. So, which I feel like League has kind of been lacking. So,
They have to
That's
bring. They
exciting.
have to bring the sex appeal.
it has enough of that.
It needs more, Taylor. You don't understand the amounts of sex appeal that are needed.
I think it has
I
enough
mean, look
for
at their
every
player base.
Yeah.
man. So yeah, that's.
I'm just gonna eventually create like a new little logo to put up, just like for just this section where we inevitably will talk once an episode about League. It's just gonna be like a section. I just need to make a little thing for it, or get Mitchell to make me another thing.
Just for this 30 minutes, you can stop the video and come back later.
Just skip to the next timestamp.
I'll like put a little thing in the corner. If you're done with this, just click here.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about Rek'Sai. It's exciting.
The next thing is the fact that apparently Portal 2 reached the top game on Steam, which is awesome, and I can totally see why. Because that game is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's Portal.
It's Portal.
It's Portal.
And again, like I said before, with the whole custom map thing, that is really I feel like that's really added a lot of replayability to it. Because you get puzzle games, and it's kind of like, it was a puzzle. I mean, I not like it's bad. It's just like it's puzzle. Like you could do it again, but then you already know the answer, so it's much less fun, I guess.
It's a puzzle.
You just kind of go through it again, and you're like, it was cool, but I played through this already. I mean, unless you give it like years, which I guess if I went back through the campaign of the like co-op, I would not remember anything. Because there were parts.
Forget about what you were talking about 5 minutes ago.
That is actually 100% true.
What was the topic 2 topics ago?
Kingdom Hearts?
Telltale. I have a list.
Oh,
I
right.
cheated.
Anyways.
Cheating is for losers.
Well,
You're a loser.
I can accept that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. Like, it's kind of weird though, because like I remember they had the screenshot of like what was up there, and like it's like that. Then 2 down is Crypt of the Necro Dancer, which I think we've mentioned on the show before.
We have.
It's a good game though. It's definitely fun, and I just find it interesting because it's still in early access. See, it's not even in beta yet. It's still in alpha, and it's already like 3rd most popular game on Steam. It's like, wow, okay, that's awesome. So. So in other news, the Symphony of the Goddess, which is the Legend of Zelda Symphony, clearly, has announced recently that they're going on a world tour, which I would love so much to go see, but I don't think they're ever coming anywhere near us, or near, yeah. We do not have anywhere near us that's really going to be big. It would be like me traveling halfway across the United States to go see it. I'm not ready to do that.
Do it anyways.
But that would be a great thing to see, because I think this is also the people who did the 25th anniversary CD. And of course, I'm like the only one who really cares about this, I feel. But that is exciting, and I would love to go see it, even though I'm probably never going to go see it.
According to their website, like the first thing that they're going to is Nashville, Tennessee.
Wait, what? I missed that.
assuming ZeldaSymphony.com is
Apparently, I missed this.
Yeah, though it starts January 21st and January 22nd. So, buy tickets fast.
Yeah, I also imagine like getting a ticket would be the worst thing.
Yeah, I can't imagine that would be easy.
And that's the other thing. If it's like it's probably gonna be an expensive ticket, that's gonna be really difficult to get, kind of thing. So I don't know.
It's kind of like my wish that Baby Metal will come anywhere close to where we live.
I think the ticket is $50 at the minimum.
Wait, what? Really?
49
Yeah.
to 89, depending on what seats you get.
I think Logan has just planned his January.
Yep. Screw everything. I'm going to see this. Bye, guys. Forever.
So,
It's-
Leaving more than a month ahead of time.
Yep. I'm gonna go camp out the box
Yeah,
office.
their best seats at $89 are available, and then their cheapest seats, like Orchestra View Center or whatever, are also available. Which I'm assuming is just like the floor.
That's magical. So which one of you wants to come see this with me?
I mean,
what are we talking about again?
Because I'm traveling 7 or 8 hours to do that.
It's Symphony of the Goddess, which is like the orchestral Legend of Zelda band, which would be magical to see, at least for me.
Yeah, I mean it'd still be magical for me, but I can't dole out money and time in January.
Scott, right now, you need to just dole out just $50 right now.
No.
Yeah, that was a lovely little like tangent thing that just happened there.
I think all of our discussions are just tangents.
The word tangent makes me sad now.
Is math?
Because I think of math and I'm like, boy, I did.
I think
well.
of
Got
math.
math.
Yeah. Gotta go feast.
Could go mathed.
Tangents
So
are
that was
fun.
that brilliant discussion there.
Yeah, that was
Well,
basically.
Can we not talk about math, considering I've been doing that for like the past 2 hours?
I would prefer never to talk about math again, since my math final's done and I'm done with math for at least this semester.
After this semester, I'll be done with math until the next, like, eternity of my life.
You have
When
fun with
Garrett
this.
is reincarnated into his next mortal vessel.
I think I have a mortal vessel.
he found an immortal vessel this time. He's prepared.
That would be the implication. Yes.
Thank you, Scott, for your much wanted sarcasm.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, good news is the Team Fortress 2 Heavy and Sniper are going to get short shorts in a new update.
Meanwhile, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for topics.
Moving right along.
I think there's a new like Tomb Raider game coming out or something. And as a promotion for it, or maybe it's one of those like if you buy this game and have Team Fortress 2, you will get. So yeah, there are lovely pictures which I am going to attempt to put on screen of the Heavy and the Sniper in basically Lara Croft short shorts.
Is
Oh
it
my
going to be
God.
like a new one? A new. Where am I going with this? Is it going to be a new Tomb Raider game by the same people who.
Oh. No,
Oh.
Garrett.
What? Am
You
I gone?
died. You died in the middle of that.
Oh, I hear lag again. Hang on. Are we good?
Yeah.
Alright, so is it going to be made by the same people who made the last one?
I do not know.
Let's see. It's Lara Croft in the Temple of Osiris. I'm not sure.
Oh, Osiris is the Egyptian god of death. I know that.
Yep.
I know things.
Don't lie to yourself.
I know some things. They're just not
Uh,
useful.
Let's see. It's being produced by Square Enix.
Yeah, okay, so it's made by
Yeah.
the same people.
I guess so. The Wikipedia page is doing that thing where there's the Tomb Raider page, and then there's a little section on Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris with a link in the name. And when you click that, it brings you back to the same section. So this is dumb.
Is this where you wanted? Is this where you wanted to go? Okay, we'll take you right back there. Good.
Yep, I just needed to reassert where I was on this page. Also, just as a note, I'm looking at the Team Fortress 2 wiki, and the item is named Jungle Booty, and
Yes!
I'm not okay with that.
This is the best, and I am okay with this. I have no objections. Then there's gonna be a new hat, which is like a little like Egyptian Sphinx hat, well, pharaoh hat, I guess would be. And then they've also got like the Lara Croft like circular John Lennon glasses, sunglasses.
Mm.
That's another thing.
They're called Tomb Readers.
Are they really?
Yes, they are.
That is amazing.
Guys, we need a really clever name for these things. They involve Tomb Raider and their glasses. Tomb Raider. Good. Great. Glad
That's
we
why we
hired.
give you the big bucks. You get to wear the genius hat today.
They're just sitting there in the boardroom. The one guy who's like scribbling on a piece of paper in the back, like not really doing much of the work. What do you call them? What about Tomb Readers? It's great. This is the reason why we invited you to this board meeting.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure the Team Fortress 2 team just kind of sits in a circle,
Where everyone's
like a
wearing 6 hats.
and there's a computer in the center, and they just kind of trade their hats to the right. That's what they do all day.
Guys, have we gotten a new idea yet?
And then
No.
there's that one person, they actually have like a light bulb hat, and whoever has that has to come up with the thing for the day.
Yep.
I have
This
traded
is-
our hat to the right. You are the new genius of the day. What do you have in store today? We give the heavy short shorts. That's a terrible idea. They put it in modeling. This
Print it.
no, this is a terrible idea. They like just put a bottle of it. Let's just appease John over there. And then they put pants on and be like, wow, this is the best thing we've ever done. John, you're a genius.
Now it's gonna stop being a hat simulator and start being a pants simulator.
Oh, just wait until the scout gets his short shorts.
Dude,
Just wait till the
I'm not-
medic gets
Look
his
at this.
short shorts.
Just look at this.
Or wait, what about the pyro?
Well, we don't know if the pyro is a male or female, which was a big debate that they had for the longest time. So,
So we're about to find out.
a debate.
I mean,
It was controversial. Just like how the lightsaber thing was a controversy.
I mean, I don't know. The booty shorts could be a good thing.
I want the spy to have booty shorts too.
What has this game become? Oh god, this is why Half-Life 3 hasn't been made yet.
It's because it's become basically a collection simulator. It's not even a hat simulator anymore. It's just like, do you have all the shit? Good, you win. Great.
I didn't mean the Half-Life thing. I'm sorry. Praise be unto Gay Ben.
You realize that when we're 45 and we decide to just randomly log back into Steam after not playing it for 10 years and we see that Half-Life 3 is like one of those things, it's one of those like promotional things where it goes in your library, but it's not really in your library, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And that's going to happen when we're like 45. We're all going to call each other and be like...
They're gonna actually pull a Microsoft and they're just gonna go straight to 4. They're gonna skip 3
yeah.
altogether. It's just like,
Yeah, just Half-Life 4.
you were waiting for Half-Life 3. We're gonna do you one better.
Or Half-Life 2
Half-Life 4.
Episode 2 Part 4.
Wait, is there a part 3? Oh, yeah.
No.
There is not.
So,
They can't count to 3. That's the joke.
Half-Life 2... You know, how would they do that? Half-Life 2, Season 2, Episode 1. That's the
Garrett,
next thing that's going to come out.
Yeah, Garrett, you're not in the right state of mind for this. There's like non-Euclidean geometry and stuff to explain how this works. And
Non-Euclidean geometry, I have learned, is more or less the most confusing thing that I have ever witnessed.
It makes for the most fun portal
Because
maps.
Scott and I were doing a portal map with non-Euclidean geometry. I'm like, Scott, come here. He's like, which room are you in? I'm like, I don't know how to describe to you where I am at this moment in time.
You need to,
You're like, it's like
you need to play
rotate around the
Anti
pillar
Chamber.
3 times. And then...
you just
You
need to
really need to
start
play
with
it, too.
parallel lines that intersect and go from there.
What is a parallel?
I really hope you don't mean that.
I don't. Although I have been known to get parallel and perpendicular confused.
Those are exact opposites.
I know they are, but I can't remember which
But
is
so you
which
have
sometimes.
to use like orthogonal and normal and all that stuff, and all of them technically mean different things.
All right, we're gonna move on before this gets scary.
Remember when we were in that one chamber? I remember the thing that confused me most about that was not the Euclidean geometry, but the fact that there was a pellet launcher, and I was like, wait a
and
second,
it had
this
broken
wasn't in Portal 2?
and it had broken textures, which was the best part about it.
It was just a giant flashing error pellet launcher.
And then it was like an Escher map, so like I was on the ceiling and the floor at the same time while Scott was on the wall on the other side. I was like, direction does not mean anything anymore.
I really want to play this now.
It was
we
fun.
We solved a laser puzzle like that.
It was,
My God, that was so good.
yeah. It makes you think in all sorts of boxes that don't exist in reality. So you're just kind of like, okay, so I can't solve this using any real world anything. So here we go. But yeah.
And-
This is where time in life has actually gone. Instead of actually learning anything in college, I've decided that I'm going to learn everything I am going to learn from Portal.
You could not have a better teacher.
I mean, they did do a study recently that they're actually better than like those like brain teasers that
No, okay, if you would have actually read anything about this study, you would see that what that thing's tested was Portal is a better way to learn how to play Portal than the brain teasers are at teaching you how to play Portal.
I see.
So,
The
had
headline
people
was a lie
play
then.
Portal maps and like tested how well they would do in new ones, and then they had them like play the mind game thing, and then had them play more Portal and see how they did in Portal. And it's like, of course, Portal is going to be the better teacher for Portal.
Oh, fine lines.
I love me some ambiguously worded studies that don't actually have any scientific rigor behind them. It's great.
Yeah, that study. Once I like actually read into it, I'm like, this is the dumbest possible thing, and like, why would they do this? That's where research money is going somewhere.
Yay! That's my favorite.
Mm-hmm. So
that was a talk about short shorts.
Becoming
Just-
non-Euclidean geometry, and then research.
Yeah. So Taylor, you get to take over for a little bit now.
oh god, I'm not ready.
Well, you're gonna need to be. It's time to talk about Hearthstone.
Yay.
None of us know anything about it, so
You guys should though
I've
Go
played
play
it
the-
once.
play the video game.
Hafu plays it a lot. The girl who wiped the floor with me in her stream and league that one time.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, she was yeah, because like, well, I've told the story before, but yeah, it was just like the people on my team were like, "Hey, be careful! You're going up against a diamond player mid," and I was like, "How do you know?" And they're like, "She's streaming," and I was like, "Oh yeah, right." And then I got beat, and then they told me her name, and I went to her stream, and since there's a delay, I could see like the last time she killed me before the game ended, and I was like, "Oh."
Oh god,
Oh,
I want
crap.
to go find this now and watch Scott get beaten.
Well, I mean, this was like a year and a half ago. You'll never find it.
I can try.
They I mean, some people record it and put it on YouTube and stuff. Like, they record their streams. So your death might be in, history now.
But she's-
Immortalized forever.
I'm saying like she streams like 6 times a week times 150 weeks.
I understand.
I understand this concept of time now. So,
Yeah.
anyways, as Logan was alluding to earlier with the Hearthstone thing, the first Hearthstone major expansion thing is going to come out on the 8th, which is really exciting.
The reason I don't play with you anymore is because you have this thing of you know how to put decks together. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah. I have a really bad time with, like, not playing to my fullest, just because, like, if I play with a subpar deck, I feel filthy, and it bothers me.
Well, it's like, I mean, you have what? How many Magic decks do you have that you've put together?
Not like 6 or anything.
Yeah, so see, you know what you're doing. For me, I'm that person that's like, teach me how to put decks
Dougie.
together. Yes, teach me how to
Oh.
Dougie.
That's
I need these decks that are like put together by someone else because I can't exactly, like, I I'll sit there and look at my decks and go, this is how you deck this and stuff. Like Ray recently built a new deck, which I'm scared of.
Too.
Why doesn't anyone want to play Magic with me anymore?
It's not that we don't want to play Magic. It's just the
It's
timing.
just that Ray has a planeswalker that can gain 150 health.
100.
Oh, my bad.
Gives you 150 life.
Oh, that's a Johnny. Yep. That's a cool one. But anyways, yeah, so the Hearthstone thing. It's adding 123 new cards. That's the name of the expansion is Goblins versus Gnomes. So it has a lot of
I haven't seen ads for this everywhere.
Yeah, it has a lot of mechanical themes. It has a new minion type. It's adding in a spectator mode, which is really interesting.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work, but
Scott, was it you
exciting.
and I that talked about a spectator mode in that game?
I mean, I wanted one because, like, before when me, you, and Taylor used to just play and stuff, we would just switch off, and then whoever wasn't playing just had to go, like, masturbate or something while the other two, fought it out.
Just go dick about on the web, which I guess could technically be the same thing as masturbate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So masturbation.
So yeah, onto that. So yeah, it looks really exciting. It's adding new cards. A lot of them seem to have like random effects, just going into like the goblins and gnomes thing. They're kind of chaotic and kooky and weird, which people weren't super excited about, just
They're
because.
chaotic and they're kooky. I can't think of anything else clever.
The rest of that song. But yeah, it's which people are generally never excited for random effects in these kinds of games because it reduces the skill required to play. Because it's just like, oh, I guess I won that one because the thing hit the correct one.
Because you and Lachlan both build really good decks, and I remember that was like one of the things. Like I go in with like not exactly a pre-built deck, but mostly a pre-built deck. And then I went up against you and Lachlan, and you guys just like wiped the floor with me. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you do have to spend a fair amount of time in the game just to collect cards and make proper decks. Like a lot of the legendary cards are very expensive and very powerful. So there is a bit of a
Yay, pay to win.
not quite just because it's like completely randomized what cards you get, but like if you have more money to put into card packs, then you have an advantage. So
Yay,
It's not-
mostly pay
it's
to
not-
win.
yeah, pretty much.
It's not pay to win, but it's pay to win.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. They're actually sort of previewing it right now, starting on, was it yesterday? I don't know. But anyways, they released the cards into the arena part of the game, which is sort of like a draft mode where you pay a certain amount of gold or actual money and you create a deck out of randomized cards and just play through it like that. And so they added in the Goblins versus Gnomes cards to that early, just to sort of give people a preview of them without the ability to actually build decks around them. So
It's
that
like a
was
teaser.
interesting. hmm So yeah, I played one round in that and then immediately lost, and then I got angry and gave up.
That is the way to live life.
That is the way to play Hearthstone, like 90% of the time.
God damn it, I lost. I quit forever.
Yep. And then
then
I
you come
pick it up
back.
like an hour later.
It's the Raymond effect.
Pretty much. Does he still have League uninstalled?
No.
No.
We
He
played with him last
reinstalled-
night.
Ah!
I was expecting you'd be busy with studying and
I
whatnot.
was. I had an exam at 8 a.m. today, so I couldn't. So
I was expecting you to be studying in your studying laboratory.
I was. I wish I had my own laboratory. That'd be cool. But
We
anyways,
all want our own laboratory, Taylor.
yeah. But I don't want the responsibilities of having one.
You just hire people to have their responsibilities.
Precisely.
You just hire one person. You're in charge of lab safety. I'm gonna go throw chemicals on random things and see how they react.
And you make sure no one dies.
You basically make sure that everyone else in the lab is in like a good 30-foot radius away from this
That
lab.
describes my entire AP chemistry experience.
throwing chemicals at things.
The teacher letting me and someone else do what we wanted all the time, while we made sure no one else was close enough to get hurt if we fucked up.
Oh, Miss D.
Yay!
Miss D was great.
She was.
Also, since this is no longer for a project, I don't have to censor things, except for I still don't want like billions of F-bombs, but you know.
Fuck.
Well,
Scott, what did you
we've
just fucking say?
Okay, that's probably enough of that.
It's never enough.
congratulations, we've made it to R rating. Woo!
We did it. That's 2
No.
F-bombs.
How do we
Oh
go
yeah,
to the
that's
next
right.
level?
It's 2.
I remember the it just
That's
reminds
three.
me of that Girl Chon in Paradise. Is this the episode where we use the F word? Yes, it is. This is it. We've done it. Congratulations.
Yeah. So
If I had the want to like censor you, I would give you like a silly censorship thing, but that
I want
involves
goat making goat noises.
It's-
Specifically the screaming goat.
so yeah, just to get back on topic here, just some like general things, just some like little cards from the game that I thought were interesting. Let's see. There's a robot butler named Jeeves that if a player has under 3 cards, they draw 3 cards, which is really cool. This is not going to be interesting to anyone but me, but I'm just.
I actually find it interesting because I played World of Warcraft and the robot Jeeves existed.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much all of these things come from World of Warcraft, obviously. Though
Yeah.
strangely, he's not a legendary card, so you can have 2 of him at once, which
6
It's odd.
cards all the time.
I mean, that's not how it works.
Damn.
It's at the end
Ruin
of
my
each player's
fun.
turn. That player draws until they have 3 cards, so you can't exceed 3 with that. Then there's also a bunch of different robots that, when they're destroyed, summon a completely random minion given a certain cost. So that could cause some really weird things. There's the Blingtron 3000 that equips a random weapon for each player.
Blingtron.
Blingtron. And then there's a warrior specific card called the Iron Juggernaut, which what it does is when you
I'm
play
the
it,
Juggernaut, bitch!
pretty much when you summon it, it shuffles a mine into the opponent's deck.
Oh.
So when they draw it, it blows up and does 10 damage to them,
That's okay.
which is probably my favorite.
Wow, that is an adventure.
Yep. Just pushing the boundaries. That's what it's all about. So yeah, we can move on now that I'm
Now that you've done being a nerd.
I'm just going to do a review of every single card in this set, excuse me.
So now I send you over to Taylor's new channel where he discusses every single Hearthstone card ever.
Yep.
You
And
guys
see,
go have
and
fun
you
with
see-
that.
you see the Puddle Stomper is a basic 3/2 Murloc.
So click on
2.
this picture right here if you want to go listen to this boring crap.
Yeah.
And I guess the last thing I have to talk about is Notch's game, which he has made basically ever since he left Minecraft, Scrolls, which I think is a turn-based fighting kind of game. Someone look it up. Go.
I will look it up.
Do things.
Yeah.
I will
am
not.
totally professional, I swear.
No, Wikipedia, not a roll of papyrus, parchment, or paper containing writing.
That is exactly what I was looking for. I know that he came under some fire for this because of the Elder Scrolls, and they were like, "You can't do that."
It's like it's a word. It's like
No.
a word.
No,
It's
no. The Scrolls is now trademarked. I have actually probably just this whole episode's going to get taken down because I've said it.
You said it. But yeah, it's a strategy collectible card game,
Oh, right. It was a card
independently developed by Mojang.
game. Mojang. When I found out it was actually Mojang and not Mojang was kind of one of those moments where it's like, oh.
Oh,
Yeah, so that is
it's Swedish for gadget.
that is getting close to its full release. I've never played it, so I don't know anything about it. But hey, that's a thing. Notch is still doing things.
Is he still working on that? Because I know he's not doing Minecraft anymore.
He went. The reason he left Minecraft was to go work on Scrolls.
Oh,
I think
okay.
once it gets to
so,
like full release, he's.
so the Microsoft buyout thing, was that just for Minecraft or was that all of Mojang?
I think it was just Minecraft.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was just Minecraft. But I know that he's been doing his own stuff, and that was kind of one of the things he was working on.
Oh no, they acquired Mojang as well.
Oh, well then. Well, that's gonna be a fun game.
Well, don't mess this up, Microsoft. Anyways, yeah.
This was the second time within a 3-week span that one of my podcasts is getting shut down because someone in here has talked bad about a company. They have this kind of power.
I'm not scared of Microsoft's assassin accountants or whatever.
I kind of wish you would just gone silent in the middle of that. I'm not afraid of Microsoft. And that was the end of Taylor ever being on our podcast ever again.
Ever being on the earth.
Yeah.
It's just like Scott got shut down by Comcast last time.
Oh yeah.
And had to exit his dorm and go searching for Wi-Fi.
And then they found me again.
And they shut you down again.
Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, where the library closes at 8, and yeah.
That was my story.
It's open 24/7, or no, it's open 24 hours every other day of the week. Except Saturday.
Because that's the day you have to go out and party. They're encouraging you to go party.
They are.
Yes.
I can't even use the student union. Where am I supposed to unionize?
With students?
With students at 2 in the morning.
It was more like midnight. Don't get too crazy. Whatever.
Yeah.
It was rather late.
By the time I reconnected, it was like 1:30, and then they kicked me out, and then I went outside and yeah.
Regardless, it was amusing.
It was.
Well,
I guess since this is also a thing that happened, we tried to 8-man smash. You were all there.
Not as chaotic as we thought it would be.
It's still chaotic, just not as much.
I mean, we also had 6 people instead of 8.
Well, the first time, the game will actually just throw you into 6-man smash by itself. If you're just doing a campaign, not campaign thing, but if you're just doing one of the challenge things, it's hey, and now you're gonna fight 8 people. I fought 7 other Yoshis on that tiny Yoshi's Island map, or not Yoshi's Island, but one of those tiny maps, and I was please make this stop. So, yeah. Well, that's all the news for
Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, and I think that's all the news I had.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Praise be to Master Hero Soccer Guy, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, well.
Mashed potato Semper Fi.
No, I want mashed potatoes.
Hash potato? What? The hash slinging slasher?
The trash flinging, the singing, the dinging.
And the walls will ooze goo.
Green
Goodbye,
slime.
everybody.
Slime.
Goodbye, everybody.